we're good with that. Okay, welcome everybody to our group call today. Let me add some more people in that are coming in. Our group is called Magnetic Wealth Experts. And basically, you're part of this group, obviously, definitely. And anyone you attract to EXP is part of this group. And our whole point is just to collaborate and share with each other. That's what the whole idea is. And we want to have our coach, Doug, and my coach, who's Sean Kokoska, said you need to have a mission statement and say what that is and start your calls with that, which makes sense because we want to remind you, what we're doing here. We're not just doing this for fun. All of these calls are very purposefully driven and carefully selected to bring you the absolute best information on what the topic is. It's not just to fill the hour or fill the time or create a video. And Doug, will you read through our mission statement, please?
Of course. Hi, everybody. So Magnetic Wealth Experts' mission is this: to provide every agent with the support and resources to reach their definition of success and sustain it. The value here is the collaboration of like-minded people wanting and helping everyone to succeed together. Our vision is to empower every agent in Magnetic Wealth Experts to see their unlimited potential, especially when they can't see it. Our beliefs are this: we all succeed if one succeeds. What we focus on expands. We can have excuses or results, but not both. And our perspective is that everyone can have whatever they dream with our Magnetic Wealth Experts.
I love it. And the next slide is how you can get in touch with us. There's our email. You do receive our emails, but maybe you need to know this. Take a quick screenshot of this with your phone or your laptop or whatever. And there's our phone number. And also, most important is our YouTube channel, because I do get calls. I had several today say, are you recording this? Where can we find it? So we do have a YouTube channel. It's called Magnetic Wealth Experts, and we push anything there that is of value, particularly these calls and some other things. I just want to remind everyone the call that Leo and Holly did on Monday about how EXP is reacting to the NAR settlement and what we're implementing going forward. That was on Monday. If you missed that call, you absolutely must listen to it if you're going to be in this business. And a recording of that is on our YouTube channel. And it's also on the EXP Realty YouTube channel as well. But please make sure you listen to that. Listen to all your state meetings about it as well. It is super, super, super important. Do not necessarily listen to the news other than to maybe know why a person may be asking you something. So you have that information. But the news distorts everything. And we know sells information and tracks you that way. So just know what it is most important. Okay, so... and please make sure you mute all your microphones. I'm going to actually do that right now. And then make sure, and then Christy, you can unmute. Okay.
Awesome. Thanks, Chuck. You can hear me.
Okay. Yes. So let's get started. I want to introduce you, Christy, the extraordinaire Broadway actress. Amazing, has so much energy, and I hope everybody, you'll turn your screens on so she can see you, because I can tell you she's a performer and presenter, and she doesn't want to look at just blank spaces with names. It just adds so much more energy, and she'll maintain the energy for sure. But I really appreciate you, Christy, taking this time to do this, because I know you always bring a lot of value. So thank you very much, and take it away.
Oh, thanks, Chuck. The pressure's on, man. The pressure's on. Holy cow. Oh, it's great to see a lot of familiar faces. Hi, everybody. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. And you would think, because I used to be able to sing and dance, that I could talk and share my screen at the same time. Here we go. Let me get a slide up and ready for you to see, and we'll rock and roll. Here we go. All right, cool. So yeah, happy Wednesday, everyone. I know there's been a lot in the news, but today we're going to stay focused, as Chuck said, on focusing on sellers. And goodness, there's so much we could talk about on this topic with what's what's effective, what's new. We could talk about predictive analytics and how to find likely sellers in a farm. We could talk about video CMAs with past clients to unearth repeat and referral business. We could talk about using ChatGPT to create a marketing plan for a listing so you're more competitive in your listing presentation. But today, we're going to focus in on a particular tactic called seller seminars, not unlike buyer seminars. And this is a tactic that I ultimately got from a woman named Maureen Folan. She spoke on Tom Ferry's stage. It was end of last year-ish, and got up on stage and had everyone's attention out of the gate, talking about having done 3 billion in sales. So she's got this incredible track record. Her team has been ranked #1 for years. And she got up on stage and showed these numbers that during 2023, she panicked a little bit with regard to her business and coming out of COVID and what to do. So she decided to do seller seminars. And in 9 months' time, she said she got 15 listings out of the effort, did 18 million in sales, and put 250 leads in her pipeline, all in 9 months' time from doing these little teeny tiny seller seminars. So I'm not talking about all of us putting on a Madonna mic and getting up on stage in front of hundreds of people. It's not that at all. What we're talking about are very small, intimate little seller seminars. And in fact, I actually think that's the cherry on top, is if you could get people to come to a seller seminar. Where the gold is in the marketing and the brand awareness and positioning yourself as a listing expert in your area by way of conducting or marketing seller seminars. So Maureen is the queen of queens. This is the market that she's in. And you'll see she's certainly going after the baby boomer demographic, people looking to downsize. But this has proven to be a very effective strategy for her. And again, it's not necessarily about the butts in the seats. That's gravy. That's the cherry on top. What she has created is a marketing machine for herself around this idea of offering seller seminars. She does them, I believe, every 2 weeks or so now. So we'll dive into what this is exactly, what it would look like to implement this this year, the little time that it would take. But we'll talk about some of the topics that you might cover in a seller seminar. How would you market a seminar, or how did Maureen go about doing that? And I'll show you a little bit of her follow-up plan. But this is nearly slide for slide what she did on the Tom Ferry stage. And then I'm going to end with my own little twist on this, where we're going to learn how to use ChatGPT, or I'll show you how I created a bunch of ChatGPT prompts to help me create a seller seminar and all of the marketing to go with it. Now, I'm going to be honest with everybody. This is hard work. This is not a simple, easy, overnight tactic. This is what marketing looks like. This is brand awareness. This is just simply changing the message to, I'm offering a seller seminar. So it's a different message. All of your marketing channels remain the same. So why would we do this? Well, this is a chance to not only elevate your business, but again, position yourself as the listing expert. And we do this through addressing real pain points for sellers today. And you'll see how we'll go about doing that. But we address common pain points in this class. We build trust and credibility by constantly appearing in different channels as the listing expert. And then in person, well, that's kind of where the magic can happen, where that trust and credibility is built immediately. And this is ultimately about controlling some of your own leads going forward. That's ultimately what it was about for Maureen, controlling some of the leads. So I want to show you all this testimonial video that Maureen put together. And we're all gonna hear some Queen's accents, which for me, I lived in New York for many years. It feels like home for me. So we're gonna hear from her clients. And the reason I want you to see this is because these people have told Maureen in so many words exactly what they needed to hear in her seminar. So these are her past clients, and we're going to hear things like that. There was fear. They didn't know how to begin. They thought they needed to make a bunch of repairs and maybe couldn't put their home on the market right away. We're going to hear these basic things that sometimes I think we all just don't think it's necessary to cover, but people like me, we don't know. We just don't know. And this video really shows that. So listen carefully if you can to what these folks are saying and how Maureen was the right fit for them in terms of her temperament, I should say, her approach, her friendliness, and made it easy for these folks. So here we go.
Hi, my name is Nancy Harris.
My name is Bob Hickey.
I'm Dorothy Hickey.
Jean and Jim Woisen. My experience in working with Maureen began when I received a postcard from her office advertising a home seller's seminar. I was at a point in my life that I was ready to sell my house, and I didn't really know how to start.
We didn't think we were going to be selling the house this year. We went to the seminar, and we were very impressed with the seminar, and we asked Maureen to come over to our house, and we started talking, and we looked at each other, and we said, why not? This is the time, I guess, to sell the house.
We're not getting any younger.
We're not getting any younger, and everything moved so quickly.
We really weren't thinking of selling right now. We were thinking a year or two, but we said, well, we'll go and we'll find out, because this way, if we have something to do to the house to get ready, we could do it. And as it turned out, they said, no, you don't have to do anything. So we didn't think the market was that good right now either for selling. But that proved wrong too. And Maureen said, put it out there and we'll see what happens. So we said, okay. And it sold right away.
It literally got my little feet moving on what to do next. I've been living in this house since 1999, and I made my life here with my husband, so I had a very emotional connection to the house. To have a group of people who understood and could give me confidence in this meant everything to me.
Seller seminars are really a very good resource, practical information on how to sell the house.
Spectacular.
Very informative.
So friendly every step of the way, very non-threatening.
Enlightening, practical.
And to alleviate your fear.
So it's interesting. I think there are a lot of clues in that. Alleviating fear, practical, friendly, got my little feet moving. Some of the simplest content was probably the most effective for these folks. Now, clearly, it looks like Maureen is, targeting folks looking to downsize, maybe getting out of the cold weather in New York City. But she aligned her content with her audience beautifully, according to her own clients. So where do you start if you're thinking about creating an event, a seminar, a workshop, a mastermind, whatever you want to call it, whatever we want to call it? Who is the client? Who are we going after? Can we use some predictive analytics to find out who these people are? Who are the baby boomers? Who are the people looking to downsize? Who's been in their house for some time? Who has indicated in some way, shape, or form online that they might be looking to move? All of those predictive analytics are available now. And then we start creating some content. Next step is to, and we'll kind of visualize you doing this. Then we got to determine a date and time to hold the meeting, the first meeting. That's probably the biggest commitment, is whether that's 4 weeks or 6 weeks or 8 weeks out, what date and time are we going to shoot for? And then I recommend that you set up a landing page of some kind. And I'm going to give you all a list to screenshot here in just a second, so don't worry. But we might want to set up an Eventbrite page, or if you have access to a landing page through your own technology, great. But we want some destination, maybe some place for people to go and register, or where you can register them. I've had some clients do Facebook lead form ads where they just get people's information and they register them. But we need a registration process. Eventbrite is free, easy to use. And then you start creating your marketing plan. What are the channels you want to fire on? Do we want to send an email campaign? And what might that look like? Maybe it's an announcement one week. And the second week, it's a reminder. And then the last week before, it's a last chance to register. We line up social media to do the same thing. Announcement, reminder, last chance. That's 3 weeks of messaging right there. Perhaps you want to start talking to local businesses and seeing if you can put flyers up. Maybe you want to send letters to likely sellers or hot movers using predictive analytics, but we start pounding out what the marketing plan looks like. And so if you all want to screenshot this, take a picture of this, this is a basic checklist. Very basic, but it gets you kind of thinking and started with what would that look like? And again, this is the gold, in my opinion. This is brand awareness. This is you saying, I'm the listing expert. I actually hold classes on this. I hold workshops. The gold is in this marketing. So the Eventbrite page, perhaps you develop a QR code so that no matter what direct mail someone's looking at, they can get to that Eventbrite page and register for your seminar. Email blasts I already talked about. Maybe it's 3 weeks worth of emailing to let people know it's coming. Here's the reminder. Make sure you sign up. Social media, we can do everything from organic posts here to maybe some paid ads and trying lead forms where automatically people give you their contact information and you register them. Postcards, of course, that actually might need to move up to the top of the list just because it'll take a little design effort. You'll want to design it and give yourself time to print and time to get those postcards out. YouTube videos. I'm going to show you Maureen's YouTube video. She has a generic video introducing herself in the seminar and encouraging people to sign up. And that lives on her Eventbrite page. And she also uses it in her email marketing. Letters to hot movers. So for some of you, you may have access to predictive analytics where you can start identifying who in your market has signaled that they might be interested in moving. And those would be great people to send letters to or drop something off on their front porch. For those of you that are familiar with Sly Dial or Sly Broadcast, you can automatically drop into people's voicemails, reminding them of the event or inviting them to the event where their phones don't even ring, just goes right to voicemail. And there's more from that. We can brainstorm from there, but this is a basic list to kind of get you off to the right, on the right foot. So what does it start to look like? Well, so these are Maureen's marketing pieces that she shared with everyone on stage. This is exactly what she's doing. In fact, her page still looks much like this on Eventbrite. So on the right-hand side, you're seeing her landing page on Eventbrite, and she keeps it very simple, thinking of selling in a shifting market, thinking of selling in a changing market, free seller seminar. So leading question, free seller seminar. Then there's a short blurb about what she's doing, and then you see down here, and I'll show this video to you. She's got a nice little video that shows that it's going to be a non-threatening experience. It's going to be educational, and you get a sense of who she is. And then she usually offers at least 2 different workshops to choose from or seminars to choose from. So that's Eventbrite. Again, free. It's a free tool, free to make these pages. What will be required of you? Maybe a little work in Canva to develop this banner ad, but that's great because that will help you design your postcard. That's going to help you design your flyer. You'll see here in just a second. So you just start, you get started. Let's move on to our next piece of marketing, the QR code. Who would have thought QR codes still as popular as ever, thanks to the pandemic. So QR code, she's got QR codes in all of her direct mail pieces that I think originally just took people right to the Eventbrite page, but she's now sending people to her website where I can go to the Eventbrite page, whatever works for all of you and your technology. But the point being, the QR code is easy. It's everywhere in terms of her direct mail. And the other thing she's done is she's created these very simple bullet points on what she plans to cover in her seminar. They change a little bit throughout her marketing. You can tell she's experimenting and constantly evolving. And who knows, maybe a bullet point at some point becomes a little bit about what's been going on in the news, but you can tell that she's experimenting. So we've got these easy to digest bullet points. We're not writing loads of material. We're not making people read a bunch. It's very, very simple. This is a postcard design of hers. Now, this might not be to everyone's liking. You might be looking at this and have some opinions about it, but who am I to judge? She's done 3 billion in sales, and she got 250 leads out of this program of hers. So similar structure, thinking of selling, free seller seminar for the shifting market. Bullet points, easy for someone like me to digest. What is going to be covered in this mastermind or this workshop, this class? Easy QR code. And then what happens is she's created a template where all she's got to do is replace the dates. So she's already begun this creation of a machine for herself, where all she'll have to do is go in and change dates. The templates are basically done. And I like that she's got a little bragging right up here, over 150 homes sold in the past year. Great, great, great. She's also got a big phone number for those of us who still like big numbers in front of us. So I like the postcard. Here's another version of the postcard. Again, may or may not be your taste, but the structure, I think, is what matters. Free seller seminar, bullet points, dates and times. Again, she set this up for herself where all she has to do is replace dates going forward. That's it. And again, it all maybe started with that Eventbrite design, and now that design is being seen in postcards. The look and feel is very similar throughout all of her marketing. Here's her flyer. She talked about putting up flyers in local businesses, talking to local businesses, having some agreements with local businesses around food and beverage and this and that, all for the brainstorming. But again, same structure, thinking of selling, free seller seminar, bullet points, QR code, et cetera, et cetera. So it all becomes a machine. A marketing machine. This is brand awareness. This is marketing. This is the effort and the work and the sweat and the rolling up your sleeves, showing up and doing the seminars, the fun part, right? But this is what she continues to put out to the world over and over and over again. Let me show you a reel. So she hits up Instagram Reels. We'll watch her little 30-second intro. She keeps this really simple, and she's likely using an app called Captions for talking videos or something like that. I'll talk about that after we watch this video, but watch how she's got the captions underneath her and how short and simple and sweet this is. Here we go.
If you're thinking of selling your home in 2024, then I want you to save the dates for my seller seminar. My next seminars are coming up December 6th and January 10th in my real estate office. We're going to talk about all things happening in the real estate market, on how to prepare your home for sale, what's happening with local data, true information of actual homes that are currently pending and closed, so you could be educated and understand what is happening today, not what Zillow closed 6 months ago. So please be sure to click on the link below and share this with any friends, family, or anyone that you know is thinking about selling in 2024, because there's a lot of valuable information to help you be armed to make an educated decision on selling your most important asset. Hope to see you there.
That's it. Now, for those of you wondering what technology was she using in that video, I can't pinpoint exactly, but I know that there's an app that I use that creates nearly that exact same effect with the captions underneath. And if you want little sort of B-roll images underneath your chin, for those of you who have iPhones, there's an app called Captions for Talking Videos. It's a mouthful. Captions for Talking Videos. It gives you a teleprompter. It gives you AI to write your script. It gives you AI to do the captions underneath. It gives you AI to do the images underneath. And the craziest thing is there's AI in it that moves your eyeballs from looking at your script on your phone, and it moves your eyeballs up into the lens. So it looks like you're not reading.
Wow.
Crazy. I love it. I use it often, especially if I'm having to get a lot of information out quickly. I will use the teleprompter, and then I will just have my eyeballs moved up into the lens, and no one knows the difference. So it's our little secret. But that's one of she's either using that app or something very similar to it. For those of you who have Droids, look at an app called Big View. And that's BIG, Big View, VU, VU, Big View. And when I have time, maybe I'll just put all of this in the chat when we're doing Q&A. Okay, YouTube. So she's got a generic video on YouTube. This is a more evergreen video that she's put on her Eventbrite page, and she uses in her email marketing. So there's multi-purpose here. So let's go ahead and watch the more generic YouTube video that, again, gives me a sense of who she is and what the seminar will be about. Here we go.
Hi guys, it's real estate broker Maureen Folan with the Maureen Folan Real Estate Group. I am so excited to invite you to my home seller seminar. We're hosting these seller seminars in my office on Saturday. And there's a lot of uncertainty in the market, right? There's a lot of people not sure which way to go. So my job is to put your fears at ease. We're going to discuss all things related to the home selling process from A to Z. We're going to talk about New York City closing costs, capital gains tax, preparing your home for sale to maximize its value. We're going to talk about really what's happening in the local Queens real estate market. So feel free to pass this along to any friends or neighbors or relatives that are looking to make a move in 2023. You absolutely don't want to sell your house until you attend my seminar. I look forward to seeing you then. Bye.
Yeah, and I think she's got an updated one on her Eventbrite page. And for those of you that are multitasking right now, if you're able to, you can go to maureenfolan.com and go click on the registration for a seller seminar and see her Eventbrite live and in person, or I can pull that up here live in a moment. So emails. You might want to consider what an email campaign would look like. Maureen clearly is leveraging video in her email campaigns. These are heavily designed emails. She's using either BombBomb or Dub for those of you that use video in email. BombBomb or Dub are great choices. And these are, if I was a betting person, I'm guessing the one on the right probably performed the best, because who doesn't love a big RSVP button at the top? So these are designed with, again, the same YouTube video embedded in. But there's also nothing wrong with just going with plain old text-based emails that look like they are totally written by you and feels a little more organic, a little friendlier. There's nothing wrong with that. You could mix it up. But she was kind enough to share her exact examples with the audience of what's working for her. And then you may have noticed in a couple of those videos that her seminars are really intimate. There's only 5 or 6 people. She's not performing to a huge crowd. It's ultimately about a small group. She does bring in coffee and donuts, and I believe she also, if in most cases, incentivizes people with a little lunch or surprises them with lunch. And then her follow-up is very, very simple. This is not about a 13-point touch point follow-up program. She adds them to her CRM that same day. It's a Saturday. Adds them to her CRM on Saturday, sends them an email thanking them, a video of her thanking them for coming the same day. So that Saturday afternoon, she thanks them on video. Then if she doesn't hear back from them that night, she calls them on Sunday. She says, I do. I call them on Sunday, asking if they have any more questions. If I still don't hear back from them, I call them again that next week. But she says it usually doesn't even get to that point, that the connection's been made, the appointment's been made to have a more private consultation. So the follow-up is not that intense. So where do we begin? How do we start this? I know it's a lot. But the marketing is the gold. And where you might want to begin is starting to think about what would you talk about in a seminar. And I took it this far. And what I'm going to be able to do for everybody, Chuck, or what I can send you, is I'm going to escape out of this and I'm going to pop on over to this little document. I have ChatGPT help me with everything. So you're seeing right here, my first prompt into ChatGPT, or you could, if you're using Gemini or if you're using Claude, there's a few of them now. You might want to try a prompt like this. I am a professional real estate agent named Chuck Keller. Can you write an outline for a presentation for home sellers about what they need to know before selling their home? Please address the following topics: local and accurate market conditions, the best time to sell, selling as is versus fixed up, closing costs, best updates that yield a return, steps to prepare. For those of you in California, Prop 19, the impact of current interest rates, how to plan for the move, where real estate is headed, how to manage the move, your next home purchase given the low inventory of homes for sale, and the top 5 questions you should ask any real estate agent. You can put that into ChatGPT, it will write your outline, and then you can begin the creation of your class and save yourself hours of time. In fact, I was able to do that, and Chuck, I'll give you my deck for anyone that wants to use it, but I use ChatGPT to help create the deck because that does take some elbow grease. But then from here, I can have ChatGPT suggest a list of names for what I should call this seminar. I can have ChatGPT help create my about the event copy for my Eventbrite page. I'm going to ask ChatGPT to write an email to my database inviting them to the seminar. In other words, ChatGPT can assist me throughout the entire process with regard to creating the marketing. So I have an assistant to help me with all of the stuff that needs to go into all the channels, right? So I've got my follow-up emails that ChatGPT can help me with. I can have ChatGPT create my 2-week social media plan based on my outline and based on the name that ChatGPT came up with. And I can have it suggest posts for every other day for the different platforms that help market this seminar. I can have it write my postcard copy. I can have it write my YouTube video for me and use a teleprompter. You guys get the idea. So I use ChatGPT as an assistant to me to help me with these first drafts or with the basics so that I can move faster through this process. So I can send this to you, Chuck. So you've got the prompts, and I'll send over, I'll show you, I think I've got it here. Yeah, here we go. I wrote this deck using ChatGPT as an assistant. It got me started. This is a deck that anyone can use. You can customize the colors however you want, and the pictures. Clearly, you don't want to use my picture, right? But you put in your information, your experience. Here's how we kick off the class. We're going to cover all of this today, everybody. Local market conditions, what is the best time to sell, etc. And we begin. Understanding local market conditions. You guys can fill in your screenshots of data for your local markets. It's kind of self-explanatory. Determining the best time to sell. I have found, again, that the hard part for a lot of people is just coming up with the class. I've tried to give you a head start on that so you don't have to sweat that so much. You can focus more on the actual marketing and creating your look and feel. It doesn't have to be bold and red if you don't want, or you can. The other thing I'll send you, Chuck, is a PDF of Maureen's content, so that everyone has that if they want to use that to mimic. And Maureen said in front of everyone, sure, mimic my stuff, whatever anyone wants to do with it. It's for everyone to benefit from. So I know that was a lot, but that's what I wanted to share, Chuck. The seller seminar, it's kind of a twist on the buyer seminar. We're now going to position ourselves as listing experts, and we can use all the marketing channels to do that. But the gold is in the marketing of it. It's a machine that you can replicate maybe a couple times during the year to position yourself, especially given the new time that we're in and all that's happened with the headlines this week. It's a good time to start thinking about how to position yourself as the listing expert.
Yeah, no, I think this is great. And I took a whole page and a half of notes. You know, because some of us here, you may be thinking, oh, I don't want to do a seller seminar. And okay, that's fine. But, you know, there are so many points in here that you can use for other things. Like one thing I thought was amazing was just a seller testimonial combination of all those people doing a testimonial, you know, and you could also use that for buyers too, or, you know, whatever. But putting them all in one and just a snippet of everybody just showing more people endorsing you. So I thought that was great. I do love the slide dial. I've used that in the years past. I've kind of forgotten about it. That's amazing. And then I wanted to address, you know, she does it in her office, and our whole concept at EXP, of course, is virtual. So, you know, just think outside the box. That could be your title company or your escrow company or lawyer company, depending on what area you're in, because we're all across the country on this call. So it could be, you know, in some private room in a little restaurant or something. Like just think outside the box. Don't think, oh, she does her office and I don't have that. And the QR code, I love that. You know, that reminded me many years ago, I tried to do the QR code way before COVID and it didn't catch on, you know, and then with COVID, with menus and everything, it's caught on. And it's such a great way to instantly change or update your information, you know, and I think it's good too that you pointed out that she only has like 4 or 5 people there. So it's not like a big class, you know. And the other thing too, attending today, just knowing another person to stalk, for lack of better words, on social media, right? You know, to see what she does and copy. And all these agents that are successful like this, they do want you to use their stuff, because you know what you know what they know? They know that 90% of agents won't do anything. And so, you know, they'll say use it and take advantage of everything, but they know, you know, that most people aren't going to do anything with it anyway. And of course, we're not even in her area. But what are any comments or questions anybody has for Christy from this? Because I thought there was so much great information.
Christy, great. Go
ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yes, Kevin. Yes.
Okay. All right. Christy, great presentation, and I love those ideas. I come from an advertising background, and I've actually done these kind of seminars before. During COVID, we actually did them through Zoom, and they were pretty successful for, you know, small advertisers that wanted to, you know, dip their water in advertising and stuff like that. So do you have any experience with doing Zoom virtual seminars with this?
So most everyone who I've talked to about this is planning on doing them live. I had one person say they wanted to do a hybrid where they wanted it to be on Zoom and live at the same time, and that gets tricky simply
Yeah.
because of the camera and audio, and you got to position things so that the people on Zoom don't feel really left out. Like you've all seen that it can be difficult to combine a live event and a Zoom at the same time. Each audience feels a little disappointed,
Neglected.
I think. Yeah. But I think this could work really well. I mean, maybe you just offer a Zoom version.
Yeah.
Saturdays it's live, but maybe it's Wednesday nights or Thursday nights. There's a Zoom. The other thing that's great about Zoom or live, this just popped into my head, is just the idea of recording. So on Zoom, maybe you record the presentation, and you can take snippets of that, and that can become social media advertising, right?
Right.
So the post marketing of what happened. No one needs to know how many people were there, but on Zoom you could record, or if you're doing a live presentation, I would have a buddy there taking pictures and taking
Right.
video clips. And now you've got a whole post-event marketing plan that you could execute on, saying, here's what we learned, or here's what ended up being the most the frequently asked questions, or what was on everybody's mind primarily. Now you got weeks of that before you even have to think about the next one. Again, the gold is in the marketing. It's in the brand awareness, having something to say on social media and email, etc. If people come, that's great too. But it's just a way to position yourself. But I think there's a lot. I haven't had a chance to dive deep into post marketing, but gosh, what a great way to capture video and capture pictures and use that after the event to talk about what we learned, right?
Yeah, and you know what? I
Exactly.
think
Agreed.
a lot of times we all assume, and you shouldn't, but we all assume that somebody else knows what we know, and we've told them maybe a million times, and they're just not listening. People just don't really pay attention until it really applies to them, and then they're like, panic mode trying to figure something out. And so I think what's great about this is, we assume that people may know what capital gains are, capital gains tax, or we assume that they may know that they don't need to do anything to their house. We're going to come in and make suggestions and do it and tell them or whatever. So, you just don't assume. And what I love about this too is it, like you just said, it gets you out there and it gets questions going, and, it makes you visual, Anybody else have questions? I want to check the chat. I see something in there. Yeah, so Wendy said, I think she does a Zoom option in her marketing. So yeah, we've addressed that. Anyone else have a question or thought?
Yeah, just think of content, right? Even your content is content for social media. For those of you who are familiar with Canva, you can go in and take any of one of those slides that you've created and resize it for social media, and now you've got a sneak peek of my seller seminar. So the content creates content when we start, when you commit to something like this and put something together. And again, I just can't emphasize enough the good that can come of this, just from the exposure, just from putting something in your marketing channels other than just listed and just sold.
Yeah,
it's just a deeper an option. It's not to replace any of that. It's just another avenue to go down.
Yeah, and another thing I just wrote down that I wanted to point out is about sending a video follow-up. That's so much more personal and different than just a text. And a text can also be misinterpreted in different ways from tone or words, and not at all what you meant. But the video is warm and friendly. And yeah, I think in this situation, she's appealing obviously to baby boomers. And some of these people have been in their homes a long time. And you're right, that's fear, of the situation, of the process. And then you got to, be more aware of that, and not, running through a presentation, and really being a real person and helping them. And I I'm reminded last week, I'd forgotten this, that FEAR, F-E-A-R, stands for false evidence appearing real. So any other thoughts or questions?
Looks like Alicia is asking, how does a brand new agent do this if they do not feel knowledgeable enough? Should they partner with an experienced agent at the same brokerage?
I think that's a good question and good idea as well. Because, you know, when you partner with people like Doug Rago and I partnered, I think it's been 9 years now, maybe going on 10. You want to partner with someone who isn't exactly like you, you know, because you want someone that's going to bring something to the table that you don't do. So if you're amazing at apps and, you know, YouTube and doing all these different things, you know, but the other person may be better at, you know, details and more information and stuff like that. Partner up with somebody, you know, that's not got the same thing you have, because you're going to get so much more. You know, you're going to have a good time if it's somebody that is just like you, because you're going to be alike with so much, but you're going to get more, you know. And if y'all know Doug and myself, you know, we're so similar, and then we're completely different in other ways. And that's what works. So definitely, if you don't feel comfortable yourself, you know, I would say one is jump in and learn. And by learning, that would be going into eXp World and seeing what classes are being taught and shared, and our other videos on our channel, and really, you know, maybe trying to learn different things, you know, a video a day or 3 videos a week or whatever you have time for. Just focus on that, but also to partner up with somebody. I think that's a great idea.
I have a question.
Yes.
Is the recording of this Zoom going to be available to us?
Yes. Yeah. So all of these that we do, these are every 3rd Wednesday of the month at the same time, because, you know, what happens with our CRM that we use, for some reason, it doesn't reach everybody with emails. Your walls block things. And so that's why we also text. And I hope you don't ever opt out of either one of those, so that we can always let you know. But the great thing is you can, on your calendar, go in your online calendar and block this time every 3rd Wednesday of the month, and you'll know that, you know, that's when something's coming up, in case you missed the email. And so we do record all of them, and as long as, you know, we can. And so we post those to our YouTube channel, and the YouTube channel is Magnetic Wealth Experts, and it's there. And if you forget, just text me or reply back. You know, you can always find me in Workplace. If you can remember my name, Chuck Keller, you could Google that, Chuck Keller Realtor, and I'll pop up. You'll have my text there. In the My eXp app, you can click on there, who is your upline, so to speak, your sponsor and your sponsor, and all the way up. And I will probably show up there. And I should show up there. I say probably just because, you know, it's a 7-level situation. So if you're like on my, you know, 7th level, anyone you sponsor, they're not going to see my name and everything. But yes, we do record them. The short answer to your question, my long explanation. But I say that because, you know, I say this all the time. It's the 3rd Wednesday of every month, and some people still don't realize that. So just in your Apple Calendar, I know some of you use written calendars. If that works for you, great. But in the Apple Calendar or online calendar, you put the appointment in and put repeat every 3rd Wednesday of the month, and it's there.
Thank you.
What else? Sure. What else? Any other thoughts or comments? Debbie Renna-Hines, you're being quiet today. Do you have any thoughts on this, or how you can use this?
Well, I have done some seller seminars in the past, not to the elaboration of this particular presentation, but you know what, any little nugget can help bring other people on. But I have done seller seminars, and they do work just as, and I wouldn't even in this market stop doing buyer seminars. So I would encourage you all to consider that.
Yeah, absolutely, because now more than ever, buyers are going to be wondering what, and you know, the truth of the matter is our commissions have always been negotiable. So absolutely. It's like, right? I mean, it's like people are making such a big deal. I got text last weekend, what, you're not going to make any more money now from my close friends? What are you going to do? You know? And I said, nothing has changed as far as, you know, all of that. I said, it's just a different, you know, process, approach, and everything. And so you're absolutely right. This whole concept with everything she's saying works great with a buyer seminar. Just flip the script, you know?
And Chuck, I agree with you. I mean, you know, I've gotten so many phone calls and texts and emails and things about what's going on. And they said, what are you going to do? And I said, this does not affect my business at all. One bit. In fact, now I can make more money. And then they go, what?
Yeah. Yeah. And I don't like to call anybody, you know, on this, but I see Judy Atherton nodding her head. I know she's in Mississippi and has been in this business for years. You know, all of us that have been doing this a long time. It's just no different. You know, Doug and I were talking the other day. It's like when in California, when they removed the termite, you know, part of a contract out and put it over into inspections. And now you negotiate it that way. It was such a big deal, you know, and now, you know, we don't think anything of it. And those that are newer in the business don't even know that existed. So if you're just getting started now, you're just going to learn the process. And what I really love about all that is that, you know, now we have a buyer broker agreement we get in place before we show a property. And that really makes an agent make sure that that buyer is pre-approved and can afford what they're showing. And you're not wasting time and money. And we all know that we've done that before. So,
yeah, and I've always done that. So that's not that's not really different for me. But Christy, I want to thank you so much. I thought your presentation was great.
Oh, thanks, Debbie. I appreciate that. I really do. Did everyone learn at least something new today? A nugget? Yeah, awesome.
Oh yeah, tons of
Even if
stuff.
it's a little
Yes.
bit of the technology, even if you're like,
Absolutely.
oh, I'm going to try that video app, you know, awesome. You don't have
Yeah.
to do the whole seller seminar. Take a little nugget from today of, oh, I didn't know ChatGPT could write my email campaign for something. Yeah. And it can do anything as your assistant.
Yeah, and I want to thank everybody, all of you, for showing up today, because you're showing up, and I really believe that 90% of success is showing up, and that's so true. And you can always get something out of every, you know, call we're on and event we have and stuff. So thank you. Anything else before we go?
Oh, everyone's wondering what I did on Broadway. I was in
yeah,
the
that's true.
original.
You didn't say all that. Please do.
Oh,
Yes,
I
please.
don't know if this is interesting to you. I was in the original production of Cats on
Oh my
Broadway.
God, yes.
I know.
That's
I mean,
great.
I'll never wear a unitard ever again, but I can say that I did. Yeah. And then I got to play a human being after that in a couple other shows, like How to Succeed in Business Without Really Trying, and a show called She Loves Me. For those of you that know Broadway, same writers of Fiddler on the Roof. But anyway, Cats, it was hard, but that was the bulk of it in New York. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. Anyway, it was great
Nice.
seeing you all. Great seeing you all. Chuck, thank you for having me today. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Thank you. And everybody, remember, it is on our YouTube channel. And we'll follow up with more information. We'll send you a recording of this. You'll receive an email. And I just want to say, if someone in your group, either who brought you in or who you to EXP or who you sponsor or who you see at other events and stuff, you know, if they're not seeing this or hearing this, it's because they're not getting our email because it's blocked. So just, you know, give them our YouTube channel and then let them know, you know, when we send out information. But you're getting it, obviously, and we just want to share it with everyone. So, all right, thank you. Have a great week, and we'll see you next month on the call unless we talk before then.
Thanks,
Bye-bye.
Chuck.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. Bye-bye.